Chapter 20 Founders. J.B. Straubel, a young and enthusiastic car enthusiast from Wisconsin, fell in love with electric vehicles at a young age. When he interned with Harold Rosen, an innovative entrepreneur who designed geostationary satellites, a spark was ignited. Straubel converted an old Porsche into an all-electric vehicle during his time at Stanford, and the idea of using lithium-ion batteries to power electric cars began to take shape. Meanwhile, Martin Eberhard, a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, was going through a midlife crisis and wanted to buy a sports car. However, he was determined to find one that didn't burn gasoline. After researching different fuel sources, he concluded that electric cars were the best for the environment. Disappointed by the lack of options available, Eberhard came across the Tizen prototype made by Tom Gage and AC Propulsion. He saw potential in the electric car and offered to invest $150,000 in the company. However, Eberhard soon realized that AC Propulsion was not capable of building cars. Determined to bring his vision to life, he decided to start his own car company. He enlisted the help of his friend Mark Tarpenning, and together they planned to create a high-end, open-body roadster that would change people's perception of electric cars. Eberhard faced a funding problem until he received a call from Gage, who suggested reaching out to Elon Musk. Eberhard and Tarpenning had already met Musk before, and now they needed his investment to make their dream a reality. After an intense 2-hour meeting, Musk agreed to invest $64 million and become the chairman of the board for Tesla Motors. Musk saw the importance of electrifying cars for a sustainable future. Musk also encouraged Eberhard to contact J.B. Straubel, who had previously caught Musk's attention with his idea of using lithium-ion batteries. Although Straubel was initially skeptical, Musk convinced him that their collaboration would be a perfect fit. And so, the founding team of Tesla Motors was complete, with Eberhard as CEO, Tarpenning as president, Straubel as CTO, and Musk as the chairman, as well as the primary funder. They were all driven by the mission to revolutionize the automotive industry with high-performance electric cars. Together, they would go on to create the world's most valuable and transformative automobile company. Chapter 21 The Roadster. It's the early days of Tesla, and the company is on the brink of unleashing its first car upon the world. But the path to mass producing the Roadster was far from straightforward. Initially, Elon Musk and his team decided to outsource the manufacturing process, just as they had for their previous venture, the Rocket ebook. It seemed like the logical choice at the time, following the trend in the auto industry of relying heavily on independent suppliers. However, Musk soon realized that true success would only come through vertical integration, with Tesla controlling every aspect of production. But before reaching that point, Tesla had to navigate a web of complications. Eberhard, one of the co-founders, sourced batteries from Asia, car bodies from England, and drivetrains from AC Propulsion. They even enlisted the help of Lotus, a British sports car manufacturer, to provide the body for their electric vehicle. After countless hours of manual labor, the first prototype, known as the Development Mule, was finally assembled. It was a sight to behold a real car with doors and a roof, unlike its predecessor, the T0. As the team anxiously awaited their test drives, they could never have anticipated the exhilarating ride that awaited them. One by one, the engineers took their turn behind the wheel. The acceleration was mind-blowing, even for the creators themselves. Straubel, Tesla's CTO, was the first to experience it, followed by Eberhard, who couldn't hold back the tears of joy as he hugged the wheel. Musk, always eager for a thrill, was the last to take his turn, and he was instantly convinced. He invested an additional $9 million into Tesla, solidifying his commitment to the company. However, behind the scenes and away from the thrill of the test drives, a power struggle was brewing. Eberhard and Musk both saw themselves as the main founder of Tesla. Their conflicting perspectives created tension within the leadership team, leading to a falling out between Eberhard and a fellow founder, Ian Wright, which ultimately resulted in Wright's departure from the company. As Musk pondered over who to support, he realized it was time for him to take a more active role in Tesla's management. In his newfound position, Musk did not shy away from making design and engineering decisions. Infused with his characteristic perfectionism, he scrutinized every detail of the Roadster. From ordering wider seats to redesigning the chassis for a more accessible door, Musk's influence on the car was undeniable. No component was too small to escape his meticulous eye. These design revisions, while essential in creating a revolutionary electric sports car, also increased costs and complexity. Tesla had to navigate through a tangle of supply chains, find new component suppliers, and address manufacturing challenges. Despite the complications, Musk remained unwavering in his belief that Tesla had to deliver a car that was not only technologically groundbreaking, but visually stunning. Tesla's cash reserves were depleting rapidly due to the modifications and Musk's push for aggressive hiring. It was clear that another round of financing was needed. Musk rallied his connections in Silicon Valley, securing investments from friends like Sergey Brin and Jeff Skoll, while also courting venture capital firms. Ultimately, Vantage Point Capital became the lead investor in a $40 million financing round. With the funding secured, Tesla geared up for a dazzling prototype unveiling. Taking charge of the planning himself, Musk left no detail behind. The event was a star-studded affair, with celebrities flocking to witness the birth of the Roadster. Media coverage was immense, and Tesla basked in the limelight. However, as the accolades poured in, the issue of credit arose. Eberhard received most of the recognition in the press, leaving Musk feeling slighted and determined to assert his central role in Tesla's founding. In a bid to set the record straight, Musk penned an essay outlining the company's strategy, assuring readers of his instrumental contribution. The Roadster became the symbol of a new era, debunking the notion that electric cars could only be boring or golf cart-like. Notable figures, including Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and actor George Clooney, placed deposits for their own Roadsters, while even Steve Jobs praised the engineering prowess of Tesla. Chapter 22, Kwaj. Elon Musk had encountered a major roadblock in his plans to launch SpaceX's rockets from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The Air Force's rigid adherence to rules clashed with Musk's culture of questioning and challenging the status quo. Frustrated, Musk decided to explore other options. He turned his attention to Kwajalein Island, located in the Marshall Islands, halfway across the Pacific. Gwynne Shotwell, a member of the SpaceX team, had secured a deal to launch a heavy communications satellite for Malaysia. Kwajalein, with its strategic equatorial location, provided the necessary extra thrust. Musk saw an opportunity and reached out to Major Tim Mango, in charge of the Army's facilities at Kwajalein. At first, Mango dismissed Musk as crazy, but a Google search convinced him otherwise. They eventually met and struck up a deal. Despite the remote and inconvenient location of Kwaj, Musk saw it as an adventure and a chance for his team to bond. They relocated to Kwajalein Island, with the launch site situated on the nearby Omelek Island. The SpaceX crew faced numerous challenges on Kwaj. The launch site required constant deal-making with the U.S. Army, and logistics proved difficult due to the remote tropical island setting. Musk, always looking to save money, implemented resourceful measures such as using plywood to pave the path between the hangar and launch pad. The crew's resourcefulness was put to the test during a preliminary test where insufficient power reaching the second stage threatened the mission. Bulent Alton, a goateed engineer known for his goulash cooking skills, was quick to address the issue. He rushed to find replacement capacitors from a supply house in Minnesota, while Alton himself removed the faulty power boxes. Alton traveled tirelessly, sleeping on concrete slabs and catching flights to fix the power boxes. With the help of an intern, the capacitors were replaced, and Alton rejoined Musk on a jet back to Kwaj. They successfully conducted the 3-second static fire test, marking a significant milestone in the prelude to the first full launch attempt of the Falcon 1 rocket. Musk and his team embraced their time on Kwaj as a memorable adventure, despite the difficulties they faced. This experience forged a sense of camaraderie and strengthened their ability to work as a cohesive unit. Whether or not Kwaj was the optimal choice, Musk had learned valuable lessons about patience and the unpredictable nature of pursuing his ambitious goals. Chapter 23: Two Strikes. On the fateful day of March 24, 2006, Elon and his brother Kimball found themselves on Kwajalein Island for the highly anticipated first launch of the Falcon 1 rocket. Instead of heading to the control center, Kimball suggested they go for a bike ride to relieve stress. Reluctantly, Elon agreed, and they pedaled up a bluff, soaking in the sunrise. After staring into the distance for a while, Elon finally made his way to the control room, wearing shorts and a black t-shirt. While the engineers focused on the impending launch, Elon couldn't help but ask detailed questions about plans for future rockets, revealing his penchant for diving into the future when stressed. As the countdown neared its end and the Falcon 1 rocket lifted off, the engineers in the control room erupted with excitement. But their celebration was short-lived. Just seconds into the flight, they noticed a problem. Flames flickered around the engine, indicating a fuel leak. Hope dwindled as the rocket started to fall, and the video feed abruptly cut off, leaving a sense of devastation in the room. An hour later, Elon and his top team boarded an Army helicopter to survey the wreckage. That night, they sought solace in the open air bar, where emotions ran high. Elon spoke softly, acknowledging that failure was a possibility when they started this venture, but they would rebuild and try again. The following day, amidst solemnity, the SpaceX team and local volunteers combed the beach and collected fragments of the rocket. They pieced together the wreckage, determined to uncover the root cause of the failure. Elon and his team flew back to Los Angeles on his jet, scrutinizing the video footage of the launch. They identified a moment when a fuel leak had caused the engine to ignite in flames. Emotions were high on the journey back, and tensions rose as Elon exploded at Tom Mueller, blaming him for the failure. Elon then decided to watch the wacky film Team America, World Police, to lighten the mood. He posted a statement affirming SpaceX's commitment to persist despite setbacks. Responsibility for the failure was quickly attributed to engineer Jeremy Holman, causing a heated confrontation in Elon's cubicle. Holman left SpaceX a year later, disillusioned by the experience. However, it was later discovered that Holman was not at fault. The blame fell on the corrosive sea air of Kwaj. Undeterred by the setback, SpaceX became more cautious and meticulous. Elon initiated cost-saving measures and demanded accountability for every component. The team charted costs and took calculated risks, accepting that failures were part of the process. They identified potential risks and decided to incorporate these lessons into future projects. In March 2007, the second launch attempt took place. As the Falcon 1 rocket soared into the sky, there was a moment of jubilation. But happiness turned to dismay as the second stage began to wobble. Confirmation came. The decision to not incorporate slosh baffles had led to a catastrophic failure. Amidst the disappointment, Elon's resolve remained unwavering. SpaceX had encountered two strikes, but the game was not over. Chapter 24: The SWAT Team. Elon Musk's dream of manufacturing the Roadster was turning into a nightmare. The cost of the car had skyrocketed to $83,000, and production delays were piling up. Desperate to find a solution, Musk flew to England to visit Lotus, the chassis supplier, without informing his CEO, Martin Eberhard. In England, Musk was confronted by the Lotus team, who presented him with a laundry list of over 800 problems that had arisen. One of the major issues was the failure of the British company that Tesla had contracted to supply the customized carbon fiber panels, fenders, and doors. Musk decided to visit the supplier himself and was met with a total failure. The situation was dire. As the financial situation worsened, Musk called in a SWAT team to save Tesla. He reached out to Antonio Gracias, a savvy investor and partner who had a knack for turning around troubled companies. Gracias, known for his unconventional ventures, had a shared vision with Musk on building efficient manufacturing processes. Gracias recalled an incident during a trip to Las Vegas with Musk and a group of friends. When one of their party threw up in a limousine, Gracias and Musk, showing their compassion, cleaned up the mess themselves. It was a small glimpse into Musk's caring side, often overshadowed by his aspergers. Gracias and his partner, Tim Watkins, joined forces to tackle the supply chain nightmare. They started by resolving the issue with the British supplier, flying machinery to France, and finding a new company to take on the work. But they soon discovered that the entire supply chain was a mess, with parts traveling around the world before reaching Tesla's assembly facility. Complicating matters, the design of the Roadster had become overly complex, leading to increased costs and weight. Watkins was shocked to find that there was no bill of materials, causing further chaos in production. When he calculated the true costs, he realized that the Roadsters would be unaffordable to produce. Gracias informed Musk that Eberhard was not facing the reality of the situation. The company was bleeding money and deposits from customers were at risk. It was an oh shit moment. The future of Tesla and the Roadster looked bleak. Chapter 25: Taking the Wheel. With Tesla in a state of crisis, Elon Musk and Martin Eberhard had a dinner meeting in Palo Alto where Eberhard suggested starting a search for his replacement as CEO. Musk offered supportive words to Eberhard, acknowledging his contributions as a founder of the company. At a subsequent board meeting, Eberhard presented his plan to step aside, and it was approved. The search for a new CEO proved challenging, as Musk was dissatisfied with the candidates he came across. The problems plaguing Tesla seemed insurmountable, but everything changed when Antonio Gracias and Tim Watkins presented their report on the cost and production issues of the Roadster. Musk's mood shifted, and he grew increasingly critical of Eberhard. During a tense board meeting, Musk accused Eberhard of lying about the cost of the car. Eberhard vehemently denied the accusation and was blindsided when Musk informed him that he was being ousted as CEO immediately. Eberhard tried to reach out to board members, but none would take his call. It was a unanimous decision to remove him from the company, even members he had personally appointed. Eberhard started Tesla Founders blog to express his frustrations, but the board asked him to tone it down. Eventually, they reached a legal settlement, agreeing not to disparage each other publicly and acknowledging both as co-founders of Tesla. However, the animosity between Eberhard and Musk remained. Meanwhile, Musk was resistant to becoming CEO himself and instead appointed Michael Marks, an investor and former CEO of Flextronics, as interim CEO. Although they initially got along, Marks clashed with Musk over his controlling nature and harsh treatment of employees. Marks pushed back on Musk's authority and proposed outsourcing the assembly of the Roadster, a suggestion Musk vehemently rejected. Their debates grew heated, with Musk dismissing Marks's proposal as the stupidest thing he had ever heard. Marks eventually left the company, acknowledging that Musk's uncompromising drive for success came with his abrasive personality. Musk then recruited Zev Drury, but his lack of experience in the automotive industry led to internal conflicts, and Musk ultimately decided to take over as CEO himself. In October 2008, Elon Musk officially became the CEO of Tesla, the fourth person to hold the title in just a year. With both hands on the steering wheel, Musk was determined to overcome the challenges and steer Tesla towards success. Chapter 26: Divorce. Elon Musk and his wife, Justine, had endured their fair share of hardships. After the tragic loss of their son Nevada, they decided to have more children through in vitro fertilization. They welcomed twins, Griffin and Xavier, in 2004, followed by triplets, Kai, Saxon, and Damien, 2 years later. Their lives had transformed from a small apartment in Silicon Valley to a sprawling mansion in the Bel Air Hills, complete with a staff of nannies and housekeepers. But beneath the surface of their extravagant lifestyle, their relationship was tumultuous. They had their tender moments, strolling arm in arm to the local bookstore or sipping coffee at a nearby cafe. Yet, their fights were legendary. Elon's addiction to chaos clashed with Justine's self proclaimed role as a trophy wife. The accumulation of wealth and fame had changed their dynamic, leaving Justine feeling disconnected and Elon lacking in empathy. Elon was a man of extremes. He could go from hurling insults to flashing an amused grin, making oddball jokes. His intensity spilled over into their arguments, leaving Justine struggling to cope. Even Kimball, Elon's brother, found it difficult to witness the verbal battles between them. The entire situation took a toll on their relationship, leading to a downward spiral. In one instance, Justine tried to explain the concept of empathy to Elon during a drive. She emphasized its importance in feeling, not just thinking, the emotions of others. Elon, with his Asperger's, viewed his emotional distance as an advantage in running a successful company. He struggled to understand the need for psychotherapy, dismissing Justine's suggestions. The breaking point came after Justine's car accident in 2008. She sat on their bed, tears in her eyes, telling Elon that their relationship needed to change. She no longer wanted to be a spectator in the grand spectacle of his life. She wanted love and intimacy. They agreed to seek counseling, but after just 3 sessions, the marriage unraveled. Elon blamed Justine's anger on medication, throwing away her prescribed Adderall pills. Justine insisted that the anger stemmed from Elon shutting her out emotionally. Nonetheless, the marriage was irreparable. Elon presented an ultimatum: accept the status quo or face divorce. When Justine conveyed her dissatisfaction, Elon filed for divorce. In the midst of the numbness she felt, Justine also experienced a sense of relief. Their tumultuous journey had reached its end, clearing the way for new beginnings. Little did they know, their lives would continue to intertwine in unexpected ways in the years to come.